What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So this video we're going to be going over how to sell options on Robinhood as a beginner. We're going to go over basic calls, puts, selling covered calls, and puts. We're not really going to be talking too much about naked calls, naked puts, whatever. We're really going to be going over selling covered calls and puts because what I want to show you guys here is this is the settings section of your Robinhood account. So if you don't have Robinhood, you can get a free stock by going down to the link down below in the description and signing up. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you probably already have Robinhood, but you want to learn how to actually sell calls and sell options on Robinhood. So that's what we're going to do in this video. And I had a prior video that actually did pretty well going over how to just trade options as a beginner on Robinhood. And that was really going over the buying aspect of it. Now I want to go over the selling aspect because there are some things you need to know when it comes to selling. So really quick, this is your settings section. So if you don't have options trading enabled on your account, go into your account on Robinhood, go to your settings, come to this page that's going to look like this. And this is the desktop version. You can find this similar on a phone. It's going to be smaller, but it's the same idea. And then what I have is I have all these boxes checked. So you'll probably have to get approved for all these things. I did this a long time ago, so I actually don't know how the process works if it's changed since, but you're going to have to fill out a brief form. And so that brief form is going to probably be your experience. Have you traded options before? What do you want to buy and sell? Are you looking to get into covered puts, selling spreads, whatever. So I have all those things enabled on my account. So let's go over really quick the definitions now of what a covered call, what a covered put, what those things are. So we can go into that so you can understand what that is, and then we can go into an example. So I want to put this up so you guys can actually see it. But when it comes to options trading, right? When you're selling contracts, you're going to be selling the contract, selling for a premium. So it's the same thing as writing. So you can write a call, you can write, a contract. That's going to mean sell, okay? So you're going to be selling this contract. And so a covered call, when it comes to selling a covered call, you're going to have bought the equivalent amount of shares of the stock. So an option contract gives you the right to buy or sell shares of a stock. So let's say 100 shares, right, for one contract, right? And so you must have those shares. Let's say you buy the equivalent shares of the stock. And if you're selling a covered call, then you then write a contract to sell. You sell that contract. Okay, that's what writing a contract is. And someone buys that contract at the specified price. Okay. And so, for example, let's go to Tesla really quick. I pulled up Tesla on Robinhood, go to the trade options section to find the option tab. And again, we'll go over briefly what options are going to be if you guys don't know what options are. Selling is more, I guess, the next step. I would totally recommend looking into just buying and selling options before you jump into selling, because selling is like that next leg up. So let's jump over to Tesla options. So now here we are inside the option chain for Tesla. So if I was talking calls, puts, right? So what you would do here if you were looking to sell, you would click on the sell. So you can click buy or sell a call. Now, as a beginner, what you're going to be doing if you're looking to buy a call, you're betting on the stock price to go up. So very simply, if I were to buy this call right here, it's going to cost me this price times 100. So it's actually pretty expensive, but that's because Tesla is very volatile and can move a lot, very significantly, very quick. But that means that I am buying the right, to buy Tesla stock at $820, okay? And so the actual option value here is going to go up significantly if Tesla goes up, because it's going to cost more. If you want to buy 100 shares of Tesla, it's one option contract at $820, yeah, it's going to cost you a lot more if Tesla's price starts pushing $900 or pushing $1,000. Yeah, so that's how it works. But what you could do is you could sell that call, right? And this is a covered call. And so you have the share, let's say you have 100 shares of Tesla, that allows you to do this. That's selling a covered call. You can't just naked sell this call unless you have, I think, the sufficient funds, or I'm not even sure Robinhood even allows that. So I'm pretty sure you must actually have the equivalent shares in your account to do so. So what's going to happen here? If I was to write this $820 contract right here, I had 100 shares of Tesla, I write one contract. What's going to happen? My account is going to get credited this $62.45 times 100. So that's actually a significant amount of money that I'm going to get credited into my account, right? Then what's going to happen is if Tesla stock does not go past 820 by the expiration date, so this expiration date I have here is June 5th. If Tesla stock stays where it is or goes lower, what happens? Well, you actually you kept that premium. So that premium that you wrote, you got paid this money right here. You got paid that and you kept that. Nothing happens, right? Now, what would happen if the price were to go up above 820 by the expiration date? Well, then that contract, what's going to end up happening is you're going to sell those shares of Tesla at that price to somebody, right? That's what happens when it actually, when it expires, right? What you can also do is you can buy it back. So if you were to sell this contract right here, you could then buy this contract back. That's generally what you can do. And when people are selling naked, that's what they can do. And so you can do that, but that's generally how it works, okay? And so why does this make sense, and how does this, why is it called a covered call? Well, you're kind of covered. So what happens if Tesla stock goes up? Well, if Tesla stock goes up, you're going to lose your shares of Tesla at $820, because if it expires on June 5th, let's say Tesla's trading at like $900, yes, so someone's going to be taking these off your hands at $820, but you still got that premium. So you collected that premium up front. Now it's up to you to decide, say, how, where does Tesla have to be for this to make me money? Where, where's my break even? Well, you can really just do the math. So if Tesla stock now goes down, right? What happens if Tesla stock goes down? You have the 100 shares of Tesla. So your overall share price, your value of the shares is going down because, you had 100 shares that, let's say you had an average price, $820, and now Tesla's trading at $800, you lost $20 per share. But what happened when you sold this contract, you got credited this 62.25, and it's going to be volatile because the market's open right now, times 100. So you got credited that. So that's your compensation essentially for Tesla to go down. Now Tesla goes up, yes, you're going to make money off Tesla stock price appreciating if you had the share. So that's kind of how that works, and that's kind of the idea when it comes to selling covered calls. So if you have a stock like Tesla that you really like long term, like you're holding this long term, but in the short term you think Tesla's not going to be going up much past $820, it might make sense to sell a covered call. You collect the premium, then when Tesla stock price sits down below 820 where it kind of drops off, you're fine. You're going to keep your shares. You're not actually going to sell your shares, and you collected that premium for Tesla. So maybe overall you make a few dollars, or maybe you lose a few dollars overall because the Tesla stock price goes down, but long term it goes back up, and what happens was you got paid essentially for holding Tesla stock longer term. That's kind of how it works. Then the next thing here is going to be selling a cash covered put. So if I were to go to sell here and I were to go to put, now what I can do is also I can sell here a cash covered put on Robinhood. So what happens with the cash covered put? Well, you're going to be collecting a premium. So the buyer is going to pay for the right to sell you shares of the stock at any time before the expiration date at the strike price. Okay, and so the premium is essentially going to allow you to lower your purchase price if you get assigned the shares of the stock. Okay, and that's selling a cash covered put. So what I'm doing here, when you're talking about buying puts, right, you're essentially betting on the stock price to go down. So now you're selling a put. What is that? That's where it kind of gets confusing, and people get very confused when it comes to buying puts, and now selling puts makes it even more. It complicates things even more. Essentially, when you're selling a put, the person who's going to buy that put, right, has the right to sell you the shares of the stock, right, at that price, at the strike price. So let's say I were to buy or to sell this put. So whoever buys this put from me, right, is going to have the right to sell me those shares at $820, and that's pretty much what they can do, right? Then this premium that I'm going to collect, because I'm going to get paid this. So when you're selling, this is what you're writing these contracts. You're going to get paid this. It's going to be credited into your account. So what happens is if you do actually get a lot of those shares, you're going to get this credit, and so it's going to essentially lower your purchase price of the stock, okay? If you get assigned the shares, and if that's how it works, okay? So that's what really comes down to when it comes to buying or selling calls, selling cash covered puts, and selling covered calls. It's confusing, I understand, but that's what it means. So hopefully that makes sense, and if it doesn't make sense, leave a comment down below. I'd be happy to answer those comments. It's not something that I would recommend you do as a beginner. It's not something I recommend you do if you're someone who doesn't know how to trade options. When it comes to trading options, stick to buying calls and puts. So again, really quick recapping what calls and puts are from a previous video that I did. Buying a call, you're betting on the stock price to go up. You're going to make money. You can sell this contract for more if the price goes up. Okay, if you're going to be buying a put, what happens is you will make money if the stock price goes down. Okay, so if you were to buy this contract, $820 contract for Tesla, and Tesla stock plummeted down to like $600, you're gonna make a lot of money. Okay, I recommend going back to that video to see how that works out, how the math works out on how much money you're going to make, because I don't want to talk about that too much in this video, but basics, selling calls, selling puts, okay, cash covered calls, selling covered calls and selling cash covered puts. I hope that makes sense. And so if that makes sense, now again, when you're doing these things, right? So for example, if you're selling the puts, right, you're going to collect that premium, but again, you have to have the cash in your account to back you up, because if you get assigned the shares, you have to have the cash in your account to buy 100 shares of Tesla at this price. So that's kind of what it means. And then this credit essentially lowers your average, your cost basis, okay? And so then if you really think Tesla's going to be a great long-term play, it might not be a terrible idea. Now, again, when it comes to trading options, if you're trading options and you're learning to trade stocks, they're a great tool to make money on the up and on the down of stocks. It doesn't matter if stocks go up. If stocks are going up, you can buy calls. If stocks are going down, you can buy puts. And so it doesn't matter what the market's doing as long as you can predict the move up or down. And that's just buying contracts. So selling gets more complicated, but hopefully that makes sense. If I didn't do a good job, I'll try to hopefully answer some questions down below. Or, I can do another video in the future going a little bit into more depth of how this stuff works. But pretty much that's it. Again, links are down below to grab your free stock at Robinhood if you don't already. I highly recommend it. I have a bunch of videos going over Robinhood, why I think it's actually a great long-term investing platform. Although short-term investing, you can trade options here. If you're trading options more like a swing trade or a longer-term day trade, I recommend it's not a bad idea. But I do recommend Webull, which is also linked down below. And Webull's got a great sign-up bonus as well. It's also a great broker. I have videos on how to trade options on Webull as well. You can sign up, deposit $100 into your account, and get a free stock valued up to $1,400, which is actually amazing. It's actually a great sign-up bonus right now, so take advantage of that while you can. That link is down below there as well. And again, I have videos going over options trading, some of my experiences, and some how to trade options on Webull and Robinhood. Check those videos out for more of a basic understanding of buying calls, buying puts, and how that works. Hopefully this makes sense. Appreciate you guys. Subscribe to the channel. I'm posting Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.